Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Krista. I'm so glad to see you today. Thanks for coming and sharing a story with me. Well, today, something's over my head. What's that? Let's take a look. Well, they're beautiful flowers, of course. How fitting, because it is now spring. Remember? Spring. That's right. So I hope you go outside and you take a look around and you see all of the beautiful flowers that are starting to grow and bloom outside. Now there are some flowers, of course, that grow up in the air on trees, right? And then there are some flowers that grow on the ground. Well, they grow out of the ground, obviously. But I don't have any trees, any flowers growing inside, in my house, because it's a house and flowers don't really grow out of the ground in your house. So, sorry I don't have any to show you growing out of the ground. What? There's flowers growing out of the ground in my house? No, there's not. I have dirt all over the floor in my house. You need to have dirt and sunshine and water for the flowers to grow. They're next to me? Okay. No, there's no flowers next to me. Are you on the other side? No, there's no flowers over there. Anyway, boys and girls, let's get back to what we're talking about. So, in spring, the flowers grow up out of the ground. You plant the seeds in the dirt, and then the sun shines on them, and rain falls. Excuse me? You say there's flowers growing in my room again? There are not flowers growing in my room. That's ridiculous. Yeah, no, see, there's clearly no flowers here. There's no flowers growing in over here. No, there's no flowers there. Okay, boys and girls, we really are off track, and we need to get back, because I want to read your story today, which is about a woman who plants a lot of flowers, and I think you're really going to enjoy it, okay? So let's get right back. Just 1 second, please. I want to tell you about the book. The book is about just be patient, please, 1 second. And I think you're really going to like it. It's called, okay, what is it? There are flowers growing in my room. Hi, guys. You are beautiful. I see a blue flower, orange flower, purple flower, another blue. Ooh, some roses. Pink rose, red rose. You're lovely. I'm so glad the children were right and you are growing in my room. It's crazy. I don't know how that happened, but it sure does make me happy. You know what? When you go outside and you're looking at those beautiful flowers, see if you can do kind of like a colored treasure hunt. See if you can find flowers that are pink or blue or red, orange, purple, and then go back home, draw a picture of yourself with all of those beautiful flowers. Now, are you guys going to stick around for our story? I'm going to assume that is flower language for yes, we want to hear the story. All right, fantastic. Okay. I'm going to can you just wait over here a little bit? Okay, thanks. Well, boys and girls, our story today is all about a woman called Miss Rumphius. And there she is. Now, she's kneeling down. She's touching some beautiful flowers called lupins. They're some of my favorites. Now, the book is about Miss Rumphius, but she doesn't look like this when the story starts. You ready to hear it? Okay. The book is called Miss Rumphius, Story and Pictures by Barbara Cooney. So Barbara wrote the words, and she did all the beautiful, beautiful artwork in this book. Ready? There's the title page again, Miss Rumphius, and some more lupins. Here is our story. The Lupin Lady lives in a small house overlooking the sea. In between the rocks around her house grow blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. The Lupin Lady is little and old, but she has not always been that way. I know, because she is my great aunt. And she told me so. Once upon a time, she was a little girl named Alice who lived in a city by the sea. From the front stoop, she could see the wharves and the bristling masts of tall ships. Many years ago, her grandfather had come to America on a large sailing ship. Like this one. Now he worked in a shop at the bottom of the house, making figureheads for the prows of ships and carving Indians out of wood to put in front of cigar stores. For Alice's grandfather was an artist. He painted pictures, too, of sailing ships and places across the sea. When he was very busy, Alice helped him put in the skies. Look at that, she's painting some clouds in there. In the evening, Alice sat on her grandfather's knee and listened to his stories of faraway places. When he had finished, Alice would say, "When I grow up, I too will go to faraway places, and when I grow old, I too will live beside the sea." "Well, that is all very well, little Alice," said her grandfather, "but there is a third thing you must do." "What's that?" asked Alice. "You must do something to make the world more beautiful," said her grandfather. "All right," said Alice, but she did not know what that could be. In the meantime, Alice got up and washed her face and ate porridge for breakfast. She went to school and came home and did her homework. And pretty soon, she was grown up. Then my great Aunt Alice set out to do the three things she had told her grandfather she was going to do. She left home and went to live in another city, far away from the sea and the salt air. There she worked in a library, dusting books and keeping them from getting mixed up and helping people find the ones they wanted. Some of the books told her about faraway places. People called her Miss Rumphius now. What a beautiful library. Look, there you go up the stairs, and there's even more books upstairs. Sometimes she went to the conservatory in the middle of the park. When she stepped inside on a wintry day, the warm, moist air wrapped itself around her, and the sweet smell of jasmine filled her nose. "This is almost like a tropical isle," said Miss Rumphius, "but not quite." So Miss Rumphius went to a real tropical isle, where people kept cockatoos and monkeys. She walked on long beaches, picking up beautiful shells. One day she met the Bapa Raja, king of a fishing village. "You must be tired," he said. "Come into my house and rest." So Miss Rumphius went in and met the Bapa Raja's wife. The Bapa Raja himself fetched a green coconut and cut a slice off the top so that Miss Rumphius could drink the coconut water inside. Before she left, the Bapa Raja gave her a beautiful mother-of-pearl shell on which he had painted a bird of paradise and the words, "You will always remain in my heart." "And you will always remain in mine, too," said Miss Rumphius. My great aunt, Miss Alice Rumphius, climbed tall mountains where the snow never melted. She went through jungles and across deserts. She saw lions playing and kangaroos jumping. And everywhere she made friends she would never forget. Finally, she came to the land of the lotus eaters, and there, getting off a camel, she hurt her back. "Oh, what a foolish thing to do," said Miss Rumphius. "Well, I have certainly seen faraway places. Maybe it is time to find my place by the sea." And it was, and she did. Oh my goodness, boys and girls, look how beautiful. There she is. From the porch of her new house, Miss Rumphius watched the sun come up. She watched it cross the heavens and sparkle on the water. And she saw it set in glory in the evening. She started a little garden among the rocks that surrounded her house, and she planted a few flower seeds in the stony ground. Miss Rumphius was almost perfectly happy. "But there is still one more thing I have to do," she said. "I have to do something to make the world more beautiful." "But what?" The world already is pretty nice," she thought, looking out over the ocean. The next spring, Miss Rumphius was not very well. Her back was bothering her again, and she had to stay in bed most of the time. The flowers she had planted the summer before had come up and bloomed in spite of the stony ground. She could see them from her bedroom window, blue and purple and rose-colored. "Lupins," said Miss Rumphius with satisfaction. "I have always loved lupins the best. I wish I could plant more seeds this summer so that I could have still more flowers next year." But she was not able to. After a hard winter, spring came. Miss Rumphius was feeling much better. Now she could take walks again. One afternoon, she started to go up and over the hill where she had not been in a long time. "I don't believe my eyes," she cried when she got to the top, for there on the other side of the hill was a large patch of blue and purple and rose-colored lupins. "It was the wind," she said as she knelt in delight. "It was the wind that brought the seeds from my garden here, and the birds must have helped." And then Miss Rumphius had a wonderful idea. She hurried home and got out her seed catalogs. She sent off to the very best seed house for 5 bushels of lupin seed. All that summer, Miss Rumphius, her pockets full of seeds, wandered over fields and headlands, sowing lupins. She scattered seeds along the highways and down country lanes. She flung handfuls of them around the schoolhouse and in back of the church. She tossed them into hollows and along stone walls. Her back didn't hurt her anymore at all. Now, some people called her that crazy old lady. I think she's lovely. The next spring, there were lupins everywhere. Can you see those, boys and girls? Fields and hillsides were covered with blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. They bloomed all along the highways and down the lanes. Bright patches lay around the schoolhouse and in back of the church. Down in the hollows and along the stone walls grew the beautiful flowers. Miss Rumphius had done the third, the most difficult thing of all. My great-aunt Alice, Miss Rumphius, is very old now. Her hair is very white. Every year there are more and more lupins. Now they call her the Lupin Lady. Sometimes my friends stand with me outside her gate, curious to see the old lady who planted the fields of lupins. When she invites us in, they come slowly. They think she is the oldest woman in the world.
Often she tells us stories of faraway places. When I grow up, I tell her, I too will go to faraway places and come home to live by the sea. Well, that is all very well, little Alice, says my aunt. But there is a third thing you must do. What is that? I ask. You must do something to make the world more beautiful. All right, I say. But I do not know yet what that can be. And there's Miss Rumphius, standing up in the doorway of her house, watching all the children leaving and taking armfuls of lupins home to their families. It's beautiful. Boys and girls, I hope that you will try to think of something you can do to make the world more beautiful. You're all so talented and wonderful, and you can do so many amazing things. Let's see if we can think of a few things together. Maybe you could draw a beautiful picture and give it to someone special. Or maybe you could take it and tape it up in your window, so when people walk by your house, they'll feel so happy to see your beautiful artwork. Or maybe you could use your sidewalk chalk and draw beautiful pictures outside on your walk for people to see as they go by. Or maybe you could sing a beautiful song for someone to cheer them up. Or maybe you could tell a story or make up your own story to give someone a laugh. Or maybe you could give them a wonderful hug because you're all lovely. And you all make my world more beautiful every time we're together and even when we're apart. And I just think of you because you're all so special. Boys and girls, I hope you liked our book today, Mr. Rumphius. And I hope you do something to make the world even more beautiful today. I miss you, and I love you. Hi, Lucas. Hi, Evan. Hi, Thera. Hi, Mason. Take care, and I hope I see you again very soon.